Welcome to Unknown Past.
In today's video, I'll be discussing extraordinary creatures in different religions and cultures. The first creature I want to discuss is a golem in Jewish folklore. The golem is a man-made creature as it's formed out of mud and rocks. By forming a certain ritual, it becomes alive and a forever serving henchman. It was stated 1400 years ago from the 6th century, told by a rabbi that this henchman would protect his people from persecution. So one day he received a revelation from God to create the golem, which then served him and protected his people. The second creature I want to discuss is a Preta spirit in Buddhism, a disformed being in eternal state of extreme hunger and dehydration. No matter how much the Preta eats, it will never beat their hunger and will forever have extreme hunger. They are so hungry they'll do such revolting things like eating their own feces, vomit and much more. In Buddhism, when you die, you'll be reincarnated in one of 6 realms, where each realm holds a next potential life, such as reincarnating into animal, and one other you can become the Preta spirit. The third creature I want to talk about is in pre-Arabian folklore. There is a concept of a Jinn, or typically known as a genie. As powerful as they are, jinns in Arabian folklore states that there is another life form in the universe. However, there are many types of jinns, and the lowest of them is called the sheikh, which is a deformed type of jinn. These creatures can mate with humans and produce offsprings, and the offsprings are called nasnas, and it is even more horrific and deformed as a jinn. The nasnas some way resembles humans, but it misses limbs and body parts. The fourth creature I want to discuss is about more localized beliefs, which is typically based on Malayan folklore. There is a creature called the penanggalan. During the day, the penanggalan is an ordinary woman and quite beautiful. However, by nightfall, the head of the woman gets removed by itself from her body, and the head carries a trail of bloody organs, which is disgusting. But moving on, the head wanders around the night to find a suitable next victim, no matter if it's children or women. If the head finds its victim, it will drain every single drop of blood from the victim's body, and if the victim survives this horrific process, he or she will live the rest of their life in extreme agony, and the only way to cure it is to kill the creature, which is known as a shaman. The fifth creature I want to discuss is the great giant in Islam. The Holy Quran speaks of a prophet that was sent down to warm up the people of Aadh. The people of Aadh was enormously huge and was known for incredible strength, as they held so much strength that it was believed that they carved entire mountains into palaces and creating huge kingdoms, and the kingdoms was named Hiram. But one fateful day, their pride and arrogance was even bigger than themselves. It was so much that they held a higher, superior ranking than other beings amongst the earth. They even rejected the words of the prophet, peace be upon him, that God sent him to the earth for the sole purpose of the beings that live upon the earth. Because of this, God didn't give any mercy upon the giants, so God sent a massive storm 3 times bigger than the giants as a punishment, which led to the giants' creation destroyed and the whole Titan civilization turned into a desert, which wiped everything out of existence. The sixth creature I want to discuss is the Cherubim in Christianity. In the religion of Christianity, there's a concept of 2 realms, which one realm is the spirit realm and the other is a human realm, which is earth. The spirit realm contains many various of different beings that's beyond our imagination. One of these beings are called the Cherubim, which is a type of angel that looks like a combination of different earthly beings, such as animals like birds, as they are meant to look like that, as they're supposed to be intimidating, as they protect the realms, such as the Garden of Eden. as well as guarding God's throne in heaven. The seventh creature I want to discuss is more particularly about Norse mythology. The creature is called elves. They are known for their great power and great beauty, but many don't know that there are two types of species of elves. The first of them is the light elves, which are pure-hearted and really beautiful, as well as extremely powerful. And they are said to be, they live in the realm of light, such as forests. They also have a strong bond with humans. However, the second elf is a dark elf, where their heart is full of evil, and they differ from physical appearance, behavior, and a range of other abilities. The most fascinating about them is that they can create unique weapons from their elven magic, and they can live upon the depth of the dark, as their realm is below the surface, where no light can touch. Moreover, they can produce offspring with humans, as their half-blood child has the appearance of a human, but has a stronger brute strength than any elf in existence. The eighth creature I want to discuss is more similar to the last one I talked about. This one is about dwarves in Norse mythology. It's stated that in the books of Norse mythology that Odin and his brothers fought the ice giants, who was called Emme. And once the giants were defeated, Odin commanded their skin should be ripped apart from their body, and they should suffer tremendously. Later on, Odin and his brothers left, leaving the giants' bodies with dripping flesh, which was consumed by maggots, which then over a period of time, the maggots evolved into other species, which is known as dwarves. The dwarves are highly known for their outrageous strength, stamina, and intelligence. They also live beneath the ground of Asgard, as it's the dwelling place of the gods. They were also known as blacksmiths, whom created artillery and much more. They even created Thor's hammer. He also had a big obsession with gold, as they held no grudges towards anyone and traded with all. The ninth creature I want to discuss is a belief in Native Americans, as they believed in many creatures, and one of them was a wendigo. It lived in icy forests in the north of America, where no light shines upon them, as they are very secretive beings. The wendigo was a curse, as it's associated with negative behaviors, and it represents the evil side of human beings' minds. Moving on, it wanders the night, finding its potential next victim, and once caught, the creature devours the body until the bones of the body shows. The wendigo's method of eating is like a pack of bloodthirsty wolves. The wendigo normally appears in the northeast parts of America, and many tribes such as the Algonquin tribe near the Great Lakes region suffered the existence of this great being. If someone is caught by the creature, the wendigo eats and drinks all the blood and the red, warm, dripping flesh. Bear in mind, the being is still alive and experiencing this horrific experience. It was highly believed around that era the creature would emerge out of the spirit realm into the human realm if an individual or group commits vile actions such as rape, murder, or even cannibalism. The wendigo can easily camouflage, as it mostly resembles a human, but on the other side is quite deformed, as it has animal characteristics body parts like horns, claws, and much more. However, it isn't the most frightening part of the creature, as it holds many abilities such as possessing a human body and taking full control over it, and once it's controlled, the creature can do many things with it, like committing heinous crimes like murder and so on. Also, when the wendigo is finished ripping apart the skin and flesh of the being in extreme agony till their last breath, which then leads the wendigo sending the spirit as well as the bones of the human into the spirit realm and reincarnating them into a wendigo, as a curse is a never-ending circle. Wendigo are excellent hunting creatures, as they can lure humans into traps easily, as they imitate a human's voice to draw them in, as well as imitating other species' voices. Furthermore, no matter how much they eat, they are always in extreme hunger, which makes their physical appearance pale and so skinny their bones prick out like sharp stakes. But when the wendigo eats, the body increases tremendously so they can eat more than one human. But when the wendigo digests their bodies, the wendigo's bodies become their original shape, which thus making them in a situation of giving no mercy to humans, as they need to feed and stay alive, and if they don't, they will die in torment. The 10th creature I want to discuss is a biblical creature, both in the secret texts of Jews and Christians. This creature is known as a leviathan. It is amongst many other creatures, as it states in the Old Testament, the leviathan lays beneath the surface of the earth, deep down where no light touches. Moreover, it was said that the only time this creature could be fed is according to the grace of God. This monstrosity of a huge marine dragon consumes fear of every living soul upon the earth, and once the leviathan comes towards them, it will devour every single piece of flesh off the body, leaving no piece behind, as their jaw is 3 times bigger than the biggest shark ever existed, which is a megalodon, and its teeth is sharper than any sword. And when this creature moves in water, it creates massive waves hitting tides like a savage storm. Leviathan cannot be killed, as nothing can kill this monster, even with swords, spears, or even arrows will not create a single damage towards the creature, as the leviathan's back is made in such a way which not even diamonds can impel the layers on top of layers of hard rock skin, as well as his front is made out of the strongest skin. The leviathan can also create a thermal blast 1,000 times hotter than lava and spits out fireballs the size of boulders. The power of this creature is beyond imagination. The 11th creature I want to discuss is about another Jewish folklore. The creature is known as a dibbuk, which is a lost but miraculous soul, desperately looking for its next potential host body to possess, and once the dibbuk finds its host, it will enter the victim's body to possess and stay in there until it completes its task, which was initially set out to complete, or if it is removed by a certain ritual. Moving on, this creature can possess anything, including objects such as dolls or even wooden objects such as cupboards, and creates paranormal actions. The 12th creature I want to discuss is a creature in Scandinavian folklore. This creature is known as trolls. The trolls are evil-hearted monsters who are depicted as great fighters, as they held brute strength and looked down upon, as their appearance is unfriendly. They are a range of small to big beings. They live in the woods in the dark, as they are petrified of sunlight. So when they reach direct contact with humans, they eat the very flesh of the body while they are still alive, as they love the pleasure of the prey screaming. And if they are not able to feed, they commit cannibalism amongst the other trolls. Furthermore, in modern day society, trolls are looked as demonic, presented as the bad side of humanity, as they destroy everything in their path. They were such evil creatures that they even kidnapped women to make them their wives, produce offsprings which was deformed. The 13th creature I want to discuss is another Native American creature called the skinwalker. It's common amongst the people of a Navajo region. The skinwalkers were beings that were able to disguise themselves as any animal or any other being, as they can do such things through transformation or even possession. They are widely known as a type of demonic witches. They normally become foxes, eagles, or even owls, but their most one is the form of a coyote, as they are beyond terrifying and they are associated with witchcraft. By the way, the meaning of possession, I mean they can easily possess vast amounts of beings such as animals or even humans by just looking deeply in their eyes. And once it's possessed, it can imitate everything that the possessed being does. And if the skinwalker wants to take full control, it does a certain ritual which leads them to take every quality and can have abilities beyond a human's understanding, even seeing things differently, such as thermal vision. The 14th creature I want to discuss is in Japanese folklore. The creature is called jorogumo. The jorogumo is a combination of a human and a arachnid. The upper half of this creature resembles a beautiful young lady, yet the lower half resembles a massive spider. According to legends, when a spider is turned 400 years in age, it acquires the ability to transform. It uses its human-like appearance to lure men and seduce them until they tangle them with their silk-covered web, which is said to be so strong even a grown elephant is not incapable to escape. And once the web is untangled, the jorogumo injects the victim with a certain type of venom, which makes them weaker day by day until the creature is ready to feast and devour them, leaving no piece behind. Even bones are consumed by the creature. The jorogumo lives by themselves in dark places such as woods, caves, and even abandoned houses in cities. There are also tales of this creature approaching strangers in its human form, and once it uncovers the monstrosity, out comes hundreds of jorogumo's offsprings, which is a human-eating spider. The 15th creature I want to discuss is another Japanese folklore. This creature is called the gashadokuro. The gashadokuro are giant skeletons which wander the countryside in the darkest hours of the night, trying to find its next potential victim. And once caught, they will silently creep behind it, and the creature would either crush it or bite off the head and drink the spraying blood out of the victim's corpse. Fun fact, the earliest recording of the gashadokuro goes back over 1,000 years ago to a bloody rebellion against the central government by a samurai named Tare no Masakado. Moving on, the actual size is 15 times the average size of a skeleton. After the creature is done drinking the blood out of the corpse, it leaves a pile of white bones with no blood or flesh attached to it. Also, you can hear the rattle noise of the bones when the creature is wandering around. The reason behind this creature is that it's taking revenge, as it hasn't had a good experience, because every single piece of bone this creature is built on is a large number of people died in a gruesome fashion. For example, famine, which is the worst way to die as it's slow and you experience extreme torment and suffering until your last breath is stripped away. And others, like soldiers who die on the battlefield, people who die from starvation, as they don't get a proper burial and left on the ground to rot, which in Japanese culture, their soul cannot be passed on as they are reborn as a hungry gashadokuro. As their hatred what occurred to them, they are going through extreme agony, and once they have died, their energy all went into one place, as well as their physical attributes, which are the bones of the deceased corpses, and then every single piece of bones fused together, creating a gigantic skeleton, which lives for over 1,000 years. After their lifetime, their energy is completely depleted, and once that happens, their soul will have their final resting point. The 16th and final creature I want to discuss is another Greek mythological creature. It's called the Cerberus, which is a monstrous three-headed dog with a mane made out of 100 snakes and a serpent's tail and a claws of a lion. The Cerberus had 3 heads as it presented the past, present, as well as the future. They have the same ability as a creature called Medusa, as they can turn anyone into stone if anyone dared to look directly into the creature's eyes. The Cerberus has razor-sharp teeth, so sharp that it could devour a whole whale in seconds, as their bite holds a secret ability, which produces poison into its victim's body. Moreover, the Cerberus was a brother of Lemurian Hydra and the Nemerian lion, and also Crimea. Therefore, is the offspring of his father, Typhon, who was the most feared monster in all of Greek mythical creatures, and its mother, Ignada, who was a half-woman and half-snake creature, also known as the mother of all monsters. Furthermore, the hound lived in the underworld, as its primary role was to hold responsible for protecting the gates which gave access to the kingdom of Hades, as the Cerberus was a loyal servant to his master Hades, whom was the ruler of the underworld and the brother of Zeus, as he is the king of all gods of Mount Olympus. Moving on, the creature was chained to the walls of the underground by his master Hades,
but he could still protect the river Styx and the Acherum, which was the main way in and out of the kingdom of Hades. This great monstrous of a beast prevents any of the dead from attempting to escape the underworld, as many try to escape from the endless torment, as they're going through many suffering methods such as burning alive, and then get reborn just to repeat the process again and again and again. The underworld is similar to many religions such as Christianity, Islam, and many others. Both religions believe in the eternal place of extreme agony. This creature even prevents the living to enter without the permission of his master Hades. Also, if anyone dared to leave, the three-headed hound will severely attack and rip every piece of flesh while the victim is still alive, and the victim's enduring this tremendous amount of pain as punishment. Furthermore, there is a famous story that revolves around the Cerberus. One of these stories features Orpheus, a famed musician in the realm of Greek mythology. Orpheus's wife was one day bitten by a poisonous snake, and she died in seconds. She was sent to the underworld. No one knows why, but historians suggest that she didn't please the king of Olympus, which is Zeus. Orpheus was badly hit by grief and impacted his career, and he couldn't no longer be able to play his music. So one day he decided to rescue his wife from the pit of endless suffering. When attempting to pass the river Styx, which I mentioned before, that is a gateway from the living and the dead, when Orpheus encountered the monster, he began to play his music, and the Cerberus was sent to a deep slumber. Despite its fascinating figure, this creature should be avoided at all times, as the next potential victim can become the meal of this monstrous creature. Thank you so much for watching this video. I genuinely hope you enjoyed it and learnt something from it. If you have, please leave a like, comment below, and subscribe if you're new around here. I shall see you next time.